the award show. This is the blockchain and YouTube show. You're gonna hear the trials and tribulations of running a channel in this ever-changing blockchain space. We got NFTs to worry about, we got metaverses coming up, you know, and we got these YouTubers that are the front lines for mass adoption education, and you're gonna learn how they do it today. So I'm gonna start introducing them. First one up is Ian Balina. Come on up. You got 30 seconds to tell people who you are.
Hey, I'm Ian Balina, also known as Diary of a Made Man. On YouTube, on Twitter, on Instagram. I've been in crypto since 2016. Had a huge channel back in 2017, showing people how to invest in ICOs using spreadsheets. We now took that and launched Tokenmetrics, which is a data-driven company for investing in crypto with AI.
He also has a rap video on YouTube. Look it up. Next one up is the least. Which one do you like? Like Austin or Arnold better? You say like Arnold better? Austin? Arnold, come up. Wait, they're both Arnolds. Austin and Aaron. They're both Arnolds. Too many A's.
Thank you very much, Adam. Great to be here. Altcoin Daily Army, thanks for checking in. We have a YouTube channel, 1.2 million subscribers, Twitter, almost 1 million. News, opinion, channel for the everyman, by the everyman. Great to be here. Austin.
Adam, you're an awesome host, man. Doing great. That was it? Who here is an Altcoin Daily watcher? All right, all right. Excuse me? What is this? Did we win?
You creamed it in the best news category. There wasn't even a runner-up.
Thank you.
Take your seats, gentlemen. Next up is the wonderful Crypto Wendy O, the O Show.
Hi, so my name is Wendy. Some of you know me as Crypto Wendy O. I run a YouTube channel. I've got a TikTok, Twitter, free newsletter, and we basically talk about the basics of crypto. And the reason why that is so important is because most people in the world do not come from money. They do not come from wealth. And I think that it's very important to give everybody a good quality of life. And I really, really believe that crypto can do that. And there's lots of different avenues that we can achieve that through, not just in trading. We can do that with NFTs. We can do that in working in the space. And that's what my channel is all about, is leveling the playing field out and including everybody that is interested in bettering their quality of life. Thank you.
You guys are losing. She's the best introduction by far. Next up is this guy. He's growing. I don't know you really know. This guy's a fan. You know who we're doing? You want to introduce him?
Introducing Tom Crown.
That's all you got?
He is a legendary chartist, technical analyst, and debatably one of the best technical analysts on the platform, Tom Crown.
And I got something for Tom here.
What could it be?
Whoever does best TA in the space, it changes every year. Tom is new to it. He really campaigned for it. He also deserves it. He ties this with Crypto Jeb. They were war within 100 votes of each other. I tell you what, you keep this for a week, then you mail it to Jeb. I think we're ready. I think that's it, right? This spot's mine? Right? No. Who we missing? Who we missing?
BitBoy.
Who we missing?
BitBoy.
Who we missing? BitBoy. I think BitBoy should come on stage.
Hey guys, really excited to be here today. You know, we're living in the Metaverse tent, the dome, and that's good because we'll all be living in the Metaverse soon. And why you lay these at my feet? I appreciate everybody that watches my channel. Definitely, obviously, we've got the largest crypto community in all the interwebs, as we say. And a lot of people, they come up to me and they always say, thank you, you know, you've done so much, you changed our lives, we appreciate you. Every person who watches my channel, I appreciate just as much as they appreciate me.
I appreciate you, Ben. These are for Best Daily Show for Around the Blockchain. We did that show last night. It was great. You should have seen it. Best Interviews. Most Funny. Are you funny?
I've been told that.
Most
funny looking, maybe. That was good.
Well, you're much better looking than me, but you're sitting next to Crypto Wendy and Ian Balina and at least one of the Aaron brothers, so. That was a terrible joke. All right, so this is how this is gonna work. Oh, wait, I forgot something, damn it. The top prize influencer of the year has escaped BitBoy since 2018. He didn't get it in 2019, he didn't get it in 2020. He gets to share the prize in 2021. Here's your belt. Altcoin Daily is the other winner. Your belt just came in. It got to my hotel about an hour ago. I'll give it to you later.
God, I thought I ditched these guys a long time ago, okay?
All right, so
Congrats.
how this is gonna work, I am technically the moderator, but no one wants to look at me. I'm not up here trying to clout chase or anything, so I'm actually gonna hop into the crowd. I'm gonna give them some questions and let them take it from there. The purpose of this, or theme of this, what are we calling this, panel talk, is blockchain to YouTube. The trials and tribulations of running a YouTube channel in an ever-changing space. Back in the day, everyone kind of had a universal goal of what you were going to YouTube to be, to learn how to be financially stable. What should I trade in? What should I watch out for? And that's why everyone says they're not a financial advisor. Now NFTs are in place. Where are we? We're in a metadome? Is 2022 going to be the year of meta? How are they going to adapt? Like, what are the trial tribulations with all this new stuff getting thrown at it? And with influencer being the #1 job that kids want to be when growing up, which is crazy. I learned that from you yesterday, BitBoy. Thank you for that. What advice do they have to YouTubers on the rise? Because one thing that this space can't be is selfish. It needs to be lots of different voices. You, BitBoy, and the Bit Squad over there do a great job of showcasing lots of YouTubers on their channel. And maybe someone in his audience has a channel and will rise and find himself in the same place. So, without further ado, what has been the X factor in the year of 2021? What was something that happened in 2021 that did not happen in 2020, 2019, 2018 that made you have to adapt your content for a new audience? Let's start with one of the Aaron brothers.
Sure, I'll start. First of all, if you're part of the Altcoin Daily Army, appreciate everybody being here. So cool to see everybody and meet everybody these past couple days. Yes. And I'd also say that, we're in a digital asset gold rush, Bitcoin digital asset gold rush. I also think we're in a content creation gold rush, in that it's never been easier to create content and start your own channel, and it's only getting easier. If you're my age, you probably have 1 or 2 friends who do it professionally. If you're younger than me, you probably have people who, a lot more friends who produce content on a professional level. So, definitely the next generation is going to be filled with content creators, and there's no better time to start than now if you're at all interested, because in the future everybody's going to be a content creator. As far as the X factor goes of this year specifically, for what we do, cryptocurrency reached mass adoption in a way that we did not see last cycle, and certainly never before in Bitcoin or crypto's history, particularly with NFTs bringing in all sorts of people, not just tech bros or, just, white guys in college. It's, bringing in everybody, making it accessible for everybody, and it should be for everybody, and it's got everybody interested in the metaverse in general. And I'd say, mainstream coverage and celebrities getting involved was the X factor this year. Austin?
Hello. Yeah, I would just echo that. I think it was well said. Also, this year specifically, there's so much more interest, which means so much more noise as well. Like, people want information and all this. There's BS and there's good stuff. So I think the key this year, which I think we all dealt with, is just cutting through the noise, making sure that projects or topics that we care about as much as what our audience is interested in, can we cover it all, give our opinion, or share the news going on, without being distracted by the overload of just stimulus of different projects out there.
BitBoy, you got something to add? X Factor?
Yeah, well, for me, it's really helped to be extremely, extremely good looking. Like, that is probably the #1 thing that has brought, no. The #1 thing that has, brought a lot of change this year is this is the 4th year of the Bitcoin bull, the Bitcoin cycle. So obviously when attention goes up to crypto, that's when crypto channels thrive. And a lot of people this year are like, hey, I want to start a crypto channel. And we've had people that have started channels this year that have got 200,000-300,000 subscribers. That is not normal. You look at those numbers right now and you say, oh my gosh, like creating crypto or content in crypto is so lucrative. They make so much money. They do so well. People love the views. They love the attention. And all that is true. But somebody asked me earlier, somebody in the conference, she said, hey, like, is it a great time for me to start a YouTube channel? I said, yes and no, like in crypto. You have to be prepared if you do start content right now that next year the attention is going to go through the floor. And I started my channel at the worst possible month you could start a YouTube channel, which was in January of 2018, when everything peaked and everything dropped. I wanted to do this channel that was fun. It was going to be like, you know, comic related, and it was going to have an animated superhero called BitBoy. That's where the name comes from. But the funny thing that happened is, nobody wanted anything funny in the bear market. Nobody wanted anything that was cultural. That was not the environment we were in. They just wanted news. They wanted hope. They wanted to see a bigger picture of the future. So what I would say to anybody, because I agree 100% with what the Aaron twins, is that the name? What Austin and Aaron said earlier, which is content creation is in a gold rush right now. Having a YouTube channel in crypto is one of the most rewarding things for sure that I've ever done, but it was extremely hard for years. I had videos even going back to 2019 that had 100, 200, 300 views on them. Like nobody cared. I get that in a second when we release a video now. So if content creation is your thing and is something you're interested in, do it. That's always my first piece of advice. Do it. Stop thinking about it. Do it. But you need to be prepared that there are no shortcuts and you have to work hard and attention will go through the floor in the bear market, which is why we are going to be switching in the bear market to a lot of Metaverse content because we think that can still be maybe an attention gold rush.
Wendy,
can you give your opinion?
Ben mentioned that there's been a lot of growth in this space, and it wasn't typically normal for people to, you know, just get 50,000 subs like in a couple of months. You've seen yourself grow amazingly over the last year. You're now over 100K, and honestly, I think if you keep the status, you'll be at 1 million soon. As you've been growing, what is the difference between the content you made back when you were, let's call you a micro-influencer, to now that you're a titan?
To be honest, well, first off, thank you for having me. This has been an amazing experience, and I just want to tell everybody that's in this room right now, if this is your first crypto conference, this is probably one of the best conferences I've been to in, I don't even remember. There's so many people here. There's so much diversity. And it's really a beautiful thing to see, and it's really bringing people together despite of our differences. But as far as content goes, one of the things that really helped me grow my channel was TikTok, and I do have to give credit where it's due to Ben, because he said, get on TikTok, and I said, ugh. Because believe it or not, I hate being in front of the camera, I hate talking, a lot of that type of stuff, and I don't know how I get up and do this every day, but I do.
You hate talking?
I do.
Oh, okay.
Don't come for me. Don't come for me. Anyways, but TikTok has helped a lot, and one of the cool things about TikTok is you can make really relatable content to people, and the way their algorithm works is you make a piece of content and it's going to trigger their algorithm to where other like-minded people will see your stuff, and it'll keep pushing your content towards them. So TikTok's helped me grow my YouTube channel a lot, which has been absolutely amazing. And one of the new things that I've been doing is I've been getting a little bit political on my TikTok and on YouTube, which has also helped growth. And politically with me, I'm right down the middle. I just want everybody to have the best quality of life. And there's a lot of crazy stuff happening in the world, and through TikTok and through YouTube. Excuse me?
Was there a question?
Oh.
Please hold questions till the end of the show. Thank you.
But it's really kind of helped me to create better content and bring a lot of these issues that are scary that are happening, especially with our governments in the United States when it comes to the infrastructure bill, when it comes to the new laws and regulations that they're pushing to kind of stop crypto from growing. And I've been able to reach a lot of people that way, and it's been amazing. And as far as when the bear market comes, numbers will drop, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to stop doing what I'm doing, because my mission is a lot greater. I have a 5-year-old daughter that looks up to me for different things, and one of the reasons why I've stood in crypto so long and stood making content is for her, despite of all the hate and the terrible things that people say, because I am a woman in crypto. She's my motivation, because I know there's other girls out there that are looking up to me, or other people that come from the streets like where I come. and then have had a very bad quality of life and have seen trauma and have had really terrible things happen to them, that have lost parents. And that's one of the things that inspires me to keep going, is because if I can help one person improve their quality of life or feel better about themselves and let them know to keep going and it's going to be okay, then my job is done.
That's amazing, Wendy. Everyone give her a hand. That's from the heart. To go to the guy at the end there, Tom Crown, we're talking about YouTube growth, and you're a guy who's been here forever, and you're finally experiencing it. What is it like? What are you doing differently now that you're on the rise?
Well, this is my first conference. This is pretty exciting. It's actually the first time I've been in front of a live crowd versus like an internet crowd. So it's not too bad. It's not too bad.
Are those the shorts you always wear?
Always.
Okay.
You can't see them when I stream.
I have a very good look from this angle, and it's 5 out of 10.
Keep your eyes to yourself over there.
At least he's wearing them, you know.
So what am I doing different? And the answer is really delivering easily digestible, short content. You guys, if you've watched me, I've done long streams. I do technical analysis. It can be a little dry. It doesn't have a broad appeal, and I've tried to take that back a little bit, and it's been a double win because it takes less of my time to do that. You know, streaming isn't just jumping on the camera, it's hours of prepping, shutting it down, kind of promoting it. I'd really encourage anybody out there who's thinking about it, go for it. Like, everyone kind of told the same story. It's like in the beginning, you're just broadcasting to no one. It's like an empty room, but that doesn't stay. Over time, you know, your core group finds you and they love you, and then they promote you, and from 0 to 1,000 maybe is the hardest thing to do. Just getting that first core kind of fan base. And after that, it's just pretty much exponential.
You said it's the same story, and someone who's been in the game forever, Ian Balina. You've been here since, I think, before anyone else on stage, and you're still here. What are the changes you've seen since you've started to where you are now? Like, how are you adapting with the changing world and still using YouTube as a source of reaching the audience?
So I would say the biggest change we're doing at Tokenmetrics is back in 2017, I built a persona channel from 0 to over 100K subscribers in basically a year. But the whole motto was as a personal brand. And going through the bear market, I learned it's better for us to build this as a corporate brand. So I ended up launching Tokenmetrics, and now with Tokenmetrics, we've built that up from 0 to 100K subs in basically 1 year as well in this market cycle. But the main difference is now we have a cast of characters. So going out there, hiring people like Bill from Goldman Sachs, Mehdi, Forrest. So we're treating this almost as a crypto TV network, right? So our motto is actually trying to become the Bloomberg TV of crypto. And to get there, we have to treat this as a business and bring in lots of different casts of characters that can cater to different topics, whether it's technical analysis, fundamental analysis, Metaverse, DAOs, NFTs. So really treating this almost like a network as a whole. That's the big difference our team has been doing in the last 1 or 2 years.
Awesome, thank you all. Now, for the next questions, it's open, and feel free to debate and interrupt or whatever. You know, you do your things. You guys are all personalities. Don't point at Ben, Wendy. Come on. He told a joke.
I like to talk.
He told a
I'm
joke
not
that
like
no one laughed
Wendy.
about. Okay, hey, funniest influencer of 2021, everybody.
I'm funnier.
Oh, wow. Well, next year maybe. What was it? You messed me up. I forgot what I was going to ask. All right, so here's the thing. I know that when I learned about cryptocurrency, the first thing I did was take out my Android phone. I couldn't afford an iPhone yet. Someone's phone is going off. Please turn that off. And I Googled, what is cryptocurrency? Well, how do I make money out of cryptocurrency? Because I was poor and I wanted to become financially stable. And I think that's something a lot of people do. And I got articles, and I didn't know what I was reading. Proof of work, what's a blockchain? I have no idea. But at the top of the searches, because Google owns YouTube, were some links to some videos. I found a guy named Crypto Love. I'm not sure what the opinion is on him anymore, but he was boom shakalacking me, entertaining me, and when I found myself entertained, I found myself not skipping the content, taking it in. Before I knew it, I was learning. So because I feel, this is my personal opinion, that for my Uber driver, my mailman, my mother, when I ask them about cryptocurrency, what they know they probably got from YouTube. I cannot picture them even reading an article. So knowing that you're like the front lines of mass adoption, what responsibilities do you feel you have as a YouTuber?
we have massive responsibility. And that is why a lot of people have seen my channel evolve from, we used to talk a lot about smaller projects. We used to talk a lot about riskier projects, summer of 2020, DeFi stuff, finance coins, things that had a lot of potential returns. But something happened along the way, which is my channel absolutely blew up. And I understand that responsibility when it comes to the direction to lead my audience. So my investing strategy actually has also matured along with the maturation of my channel. That's why now we mostly talk about the top coins. We'll still do a small cap coin video, maybe like one or two out of our 28 videos total we do per week, somewhere around there. But you have to understand that responsibility. And I think there's this huge misconception that a lot of YouTubers in crypto don't understand that responsibility. And we also, here's the biggest joke ever, is that we don't understand the ramifications of SEC action down the road based on the decisions that we make today on whether or not we disclose sponsored videos, the types of possible securities that we talk about. I can guarantee you, we all think about that stuff. And I built my channel from the very beginning with that in mind. I don't want one day to have to go in and talk to my family and say, hey guys, I'm being arrested because I did a sponsored video and I didn't tell anybody. And there's just this idea out there that exists in social media, because if you talk about the #1 thing that we all get attacked for, that's what it is, and it's 100% false. Are there bad actors out there that have done that? Yeah, absolutely. They're idiots. They don't understand the long-term ramifications of possible action, and they also don't respect their audience. To me, that's the thing that really pisses me off about people that have gone down that route before, is they take short-term gains. Like, I was offered 7 figures to do a video one time. And you know what I said? That's a huge red flag. I'm gonna stay as far away from that as possible. We understand and we think about that stuff. I can guarantee you every person on this stage understands that responsibility, and it's time for a lot of the toxicity and the false accusations to absolutely go away.
Well said, well said. I would just add on that, yeah, of course there's a responsibility. You know, one of the things, I was just a YouTube spectator in 2016, 2017, watching crypto YouTube, actually near the end of 2017. And, you know, one of the things that I kind of figured out, especially in 2018, is half of the people I watched did not disclose sponsored content. And I thought, there's definitely room for improvement there. And, you know, I thought, you know, a lot of people were good and those guys stuck around. But, you know, I thought, oh, I could do it, you know, just as good, if not better than some of those guys. Turns out I was right. No, just kidding. But, you know, I like to think of it, obviously, so you have to be responsible, but, you know, I like to think of it, who's that sports?
Skip Bayless?
Yeah, I like to think of it as kind of like Skip Bayless. Like, you watch Skip Bayless for sports commentary, particularly what we do. You watch Skip Bayless for sports commentary. You don't necessarily make a bet based on what Skip Bayless says, but you just watch him for his commentary and opinion, and you understand that he's just, you know, giving his opinion on the news.
And to add on to that, if you live in the US, you have a legal responsibility. That is 100% clear. When we started the channel, that was a need that we were trying to fill in the market. You know, can we do this and have a relationship with our audience that, you know, is a relationship that we would want to have, that we would want to see with another YouTuber. But individually, what responsibility do you have with your subscribers? I think that's, you have the exact same responsibility that you would have with a friend group or a family group. Or you can choose if you want to keep it more business or more friends or more family. But for me, you know, I would never go to my friends and, you know, not disclose a sponsored piece of content or lie or be deceiving in any way, or else they wouldn't really be my friends. And I think YouTube is so, you get such a, you know, direct line to that person that's communicating. Like, I know that's how we try and treat it. It's like if you're having a beer at a bar with us and we're just talking crypto as friends. And then based on each different specific YouTuber, you have to define, you know, what that is for you.
Anyone else have anything to add on before I lighten the mood?
I do.
All right.
So I started my channel and I started all my social media accounts coming out and said, I'm going to do sponsored content and I'm going to disclose. Anything that is posted on either any social media is always disclosed. I work with a team of attorneys to help me do that. I have a really amazing vetting team. The only time that we do talk about projects without necessarily vetting them is on the Sunday night live stream at 6 p.m. PT, and basically the community comes in. If there's enough requests about something, we'll go ahead and we'll chart it. And that's just me doing a service to the community. There's no obligations. I'm not telling people, you know, I'm going to do this or I'm going to do that. It's just really off the cuff, and that's just my way of letting, you know, community members know and people that have projects they're interested in presenting that way, because it's a fun way. People know it's not sponsored. But another thing too, like BitBoy said, the amount of misinformation about YouTubers is just, it's unbelievable. And a lot of it is people doing things to cover up what they're doing. But you know, the best thing to do is to always disclose. And also, when I look at my subscribers, I hate the term subscribers and I hate the term followers. I like to look at people as my network. Like anybody who watches my content, somebody that's in my network, and I consider you as a friend. And I don't want to put anybody in jeopardy. And that's one of the things that we talk about the most on all my social media platforms is taking profit. I don't care what you guys invest in. I don't care if you think that coin XYZ is going to go to $10 million in 2025. If you're interested in something, if you're passionate about something, I support you. The only thing that I ask in return is please consider creating a trading or investing journal. Figure out when you want to take profit, create a moon bag, pull out your initial investment, pull out your profit, and just hedge. Just be prepared. The markets are very volatile. Bitcoin is a beautiful thing, but at the same time, there's a lot of regulation coming. And if you're not prepared, if you are not hedged, if you don't have a plan, if you're blindly investing in things and you're not taking responsibility for your actions, that is on you. Because we talk about taking profit probably in every single episode. So.
Ian, what do you make of this dome we're in? There's stuff on the ceiling, isn't there?
Oh, it's pretty sick.
I think it's
We are in the metaverse. All right, just have to tokenize this, make it an NFT.
Speaking of which, I mean,
Metaverse? I don't even know.
yeah, what is Metaverse? That might be 2022. We might have people coming into the space, no longer looking to invest in cryptocurrency. This might be their inward.
I'm starting to think Adam is in the Metaverse right now because every time I look up, he's in a different spot.
That is true. So with the Metaverse, how are you going to communicate this to your audience? Is 2022 going to be the year in the Metaverse, or is this a fad?
I would say partially. So the way I view the market is last year was the year of DeFi summer. This year, NFTs. And I think as we head into next year, the first 6 months, I see it being NFTs and Metaverse. But I think next year will be the year of DAOs. DAOs, in my opinion, is the culmination of taking crypto fully mainstream. Because NFTs have brought in a completely new audience. Artists, musicians, creators. It's a creator economy. But I view DAOs as tokenizing human culture. Imagine every human in the world has an interest, a hobby, something they love. What if you could take that interest, that group, and tokenize it, and make it investable and tradable? For example, there's a DAO that was trying to buy the Constitution. There's a DAO that buys NFTs. There's a DAO that's trying to buy a basketball team, right? This is something that affects every human globally, and I think this is even more mainstream than NFTs. So I think next year is the year of DAOs.
Anyone else before we go to questions?
I got to give a shout out really quick. Big shout out to Kate in the audience for writing and covering on Constitution DAO for Decrypt.
Decrypt.
I highly recommend.
Stand up.
I highly recommend you guys not only follow her, but read her articles from Decrypt, because she does an outstanding job covering all of this stuff and making it into a very digestible way to understand. Because DAO, the term itself, it's complicated. NFT, non-fungible token, that's complicated. And that's part of our job as journalists and content creators, to break this stuff down as simple as possible so everybody understands. I didn't come from a tech background, any way, shape, or form. And the fact that I work in tech today is pretty mind-blowing. If I can do it, anybody else can do it.
Okay, so I want to. Man, this is a good idea for a video. I don't even know if I want to say this right now. Maybe I want to steal this for myself. No, I'm just kidding. I would not do that to y'all. But I just had like this epiphany as I was sitting up here thinking about this, because on one hand, I heavily disagree with Ian right here when he's saying that he thinks it is.
Bring it.
Yeah. Oh, bring it. Oh, okay. I finally got somebody.
Bring it. Let's go.
No. I disagree. I do agree with him that DAOs are the next big thing after Metaverse. But I want us to go back to late 2017 and early 2018. Okay, I want to. How many people here, by a show of hands, were in crypto watching YouTube videos from late 2017, 2018? Okay, how many of you guys were not? Okay, so it looks like price split pretty even here. And how many of you guys did not raise your hand? Raise your hand. Okay. Okay, so if we go back to 2017, 2018, you guys know Crypto Stash, right? It comes on around the blockchain, love Stash. Stash, me and Wendy and Stash, we go way back to when we all started our channels. We've been friends from the very beginning. And, Stash would always talk about NFTs, and he'd always talk about Engine. And at some point, did you think he was a little crazy?
I actually didn't, because the technology behind NFTs is very, very important, very special, sacred to me. But we just weren't there yet.
Yeah. Well, I'm more judgmental than you, and I thought he was crazy. Okay. So I would listen to Stash talk about this gaming and these NFTs, and I'd be like, yeah, one day. Well, what happened is at the end of 2017 and in January 2018, you saw a lot of these gaming coins like Engine start to go way up. Wax was another one that started to really move up. The interest in the coins was there. But what happened after that in 2018? Those prices absolutely plummeted. And so the interest was not actually there. And I think that's what we're gonna see for Metaverse next year, okay? We're gonna see when the bear market hits and we start going down, we are gonna see the attention in the coins go away. But what actually happened in 2018 and 2019, the building behind the scenes with the coins that are still here, like Engine, that eventually launched Efinity, which is now a Polkadot interoperable NFT platform with parachains. Amazing stuff is coming, right? But that work was done in 2018 and 2019. So where people thought NFTs were the next big thing back then, they weren't. They had to be built out. Right now, we are in the excitement phase of Metaverse, okay? Because people in crypto are really excited about prices. You watch Sandbox, you watch DCentral, you watch Blocktopia, you watch MetaHero, you watch Seek VR. You watch these coins, and you see when the price starts to go down, people are not going to be interested. But it's the work that's going to be done in 2022 and in 2023 for the Metaverse that's really going to lay the groundwork for the rest of most of our lifetimes, I believe, when it comes to gaming and when it comes to Metaverse. I think we're going to look back, I've said this several times, we're going to look back one day, it's going to be internet, blockchain, Metaverse. Metaverse is going to be as big as everything else combined, okay? So where I disagree with Ian is, this is in no way a fad, but the price speculation on Metaverse tokens to some extent is a fad right now. And that's why I've been preaching to my audience, don't just look at the coins. Look at buying and selling the land. Find other ways that we talked about yesterday in our Around the Blockchain Live. Unknown unknowns, things that we don't even know, blue ocean opportunities in Metaverse where people are going to become millionaires and maybe even billionaires that we can't visualize or conceptualize right now because the groundwork has not been laid. All that groundwork is getting laid in the next few years, so continue to pay attention.
Tom, you've been quiet. Say something.
Well, I'm not the biggest NFT guy, but I've learned a lot about them here. And my opinion on them is I think they're amazing for crypto. I mean, look at this crowd. I've never seen this many people in crypto. Like,
give yourself a hand, guys.
Yeah, give yourself a hand. NFTs aren't going anywhere. That's what I say. I'm just going to repeat it. They're not going anywhere. They're just going to be a larger part of the future. I don't know exactly how they'll fit in, but we're going to find out. We're going to find out all together. So.
Any other thoughts on the Metaverse?
I think, if any of us could predict the future, we'd all be rich. Whether it's DAOs or Metaverse or whatever is, really big next year. That's why it's so important to, just have a place where you can come for daily information or weekly information to stay in tune and, see what's going on and ultimately make your own decisions. Regarding how I describe the Metaverse, just generally big picture, and obviously understanding that, with each year we learn more and more, like when DeFi, when we first heard that in 2020, maybe you didn't really understand what decentralized finance was. Then you saw some protocols that borrowing and lending or derivatives that were permissionless. How I describe Metaverse is, obviously there's just the VR component, which is, as far as we know, that's what Zuck is doing, and that could be a Metaverse. And then there's the blockchain component, where it's, items or land is verifiably yours, and what would you get out of it? Well, more user rights, or the fact that you can own something whether you're in the game or not. And that's a good way to describe it right now, big picture. But maybe in a year we'll learn more. What actually is the value? What what's the killer DApp, like NFTs, I guess, are the killer DApp for, blockchain platforms. Maybe there'll be killer things in the metaverse, like starting a business in the metaverse. Maybe that'll get big, or whatever it is. That's how I think of metaverse right now.
So we have Metaverse and DAOs and NFTs. Oh my. What's your favorite part of just the blockchain space? And based off what you personally like, does that actually influence the type of content you make and how you present content to your audience? Let's start with Ben.
The people. That's honestly what I like about blockchain the most. And like I said, if you were at the Around the Blockchain Live yesterday, you watched it, you already saw me say this, but the thing is all of you who are in here are extremely fortunate that you are wired this way. Other people are not wired to be visionary and look at the future. How many times, every single person in this room, I guarantee it, there's no even reason for me to ask, every person has talked to someone that has been so resistant to crypto, so resistant to the digitization of currency. And you just rack your brain like, how can these people be this dumb? How can they actually think that we're going to be trading pieces of paper and pieces of metal in 100 years? That is about as low IQ as it can possibly go. And they may be smart in other areas, Maybe they're good at painting, but, when it comes to money and future, they're idiots. And it's sad. It's true, though. You guys know that this is true when you talk to those people until you're blue in the face, and they just don't get it. The people in crypto, every person, all of my best friends are in crypto. My one best friend that I had before crypto got into crypto with me, okay? So all of my best friends are in crypto, and there's a reason why you connect. There's a reason why you click. There's a reason that me and TJ is my business partner, because we started talking about crypto in 2018, and we just hit it off. There's a reason why me and Wendy have been friends forever.
Frenemies.
Frenemies? That is actually true. We should do a podcast called Frenemies. That's a bad idea, actually. So crypto frenemies, that would be.
I'd watch it.
That would be pretty good.
Let's do
Maybe we should talk about that after. But the people that make up the space are the people that are going to be driving the future. Like when Wendy interviewed Sam Bankman-Fried for the first time like 2 years ago. Like this guy's now a mega billionaire. But he had the mindset, he had the visionary attitude as well, obviously. I won't get into his cartel ties, but that's another story. But the fact is, like I said, all of us have a certain way to think. We all click, and you're very fortunate to be in this room of people.
What was the question?
What part of blockchain do you love the most? And based off of what it is, does that influence the content you make?
It does. For me, 100%. I am for the people. And the reason why I'm for the people is because, I don't know if you guys know this about me, but before I did crypto full-time, I worked in HIV/AIDS for 7 years. My job was to manage patient care. My clients came from all different backgrounds, from all different places. And I loved what I did, but I had to end up quitting because it was a 3-hour round-trip commute. I had a brand new baby, and I didn't get a raise for 5 years. And it was time for me to kind of build and do something that was good for me for once. So my content is really for the people. I want to be able to help people improve their quality of life. And the best part about my content is talking about blockchain. And the reason why I love talking about blockchain is because I really think that you can apply blockchain to every aspect of life to improve the quality of life. One of the things I do when I first meet somebody, I ask them, what do you do for work? And when they tell me what they do for work, I bring blockchain into it, and I talk about how blockchain technology can help improve either their job, something in their personal life, etc. And I also implement that in a lot of my content creation, because to me, that is the best way to help educate somebody, is to get them excited about a potential positive solution. The way humans' minds are wired, we're generally wired to think of things in a negative aspect, and that's okay. But at the same time, my job as a content creator is to bring the positive aspects and to bring positivity to light to help kind of push the education forward and get people excited.
Ian, is your favorite part DAOs? You like DAOs?
Sorry, what'd you say?
Is your favorite part of blockchain DAOs?
My favorite part about blockchain would be that it's open finance, it's decentralized. There's so much data out there that's available for anybody to go out there, gather, do analysis on, from on-chain data to sentiment data, and the people as well. I mean, the people, we call it crypto family, globally. Because once you're in crypto, you can go anywhere in the world, and you have a family there with you that believes in the same vision, the same principles of why you're in crypto, and the same vision of empowering others globally.
Love it. Yeah, clap, clap, clap. Arnold twins, you're up.
For me personally, I'm going to answer this two ways. For my personal favorite part of crypto, I think while everybody comes for the gains, I certainly came for the promise of gains. I stayed for the community. And like what I mean by that is, like looking back on my journey with just crypto YouTube, we started the channel in 2018. Like, I don't necessarily remember the wild price swings or me making some great money on a certain investment. But what I do remember is the laughing or the community we built, you know, going through the bear market, talking about strategies of content creation together, being on around the blockchain and making DZ and BitBoy laugh, you know, on a random joke. Like, I remember those things. I don't necessarily remember, you know, wild price gains or losses or anything like that. So came for the price gains, stayed for the community and the price gains, ideally. And then also the decentralization, obviously. Get rid of the middlemen, get rid of big tech, get rid of those centralized authorities, give the people control.
Yes. Number one thing I like about these conferences is meeting you guys, meeting the people. I love the people that have come up to us in the last couple days. And if you're here right now, if you want to say what's up, even if I've said what's up to you before, please come up to us and say hey. That's my favorite part about coming to conferences. And I guess what I like about crypto in general is just being on the forefront of something. Obviously, there's something here. Obviously, it's only getting bigger, and let's figure it out together.
I don't know how many millennials we have in here, but I'm a millennial, and my entire life, I don't know if I've really experienced hope. And I found cryptocurrency many years ago, and I felt hope. I thought the future can be different. It's not on one path that's already decided and I have no control over. There's this other force, and I think everyone that really gets into crypto feels that hope, and I think that's why we're all still here.
The common denominator I heard from every one of you is the people. You love the people and the community you make. So let's go to the people for some questions. Who has any questions? Raise your hand. You have a question, sir? I hold the mic.
Okay. I'm going to direct this one to Ian. You mentioned earlier that you made a shift from more of a personal brand to a corporate brand with your YouTube, and that it made sense. I'd love to hear you dive into that a little bit deeper about why it made sense to you, because I know that there's strengths to each, you know, in terms of how you're represented, how you're perceived, whether it's more corporate or more of a personal brand. And I'm a similar question.
Great question. So, going back from the last bull market, essentially I was the face of ICOs and crypto at that time, which is great. But I also learned I didn't like being so much in the public spotlight, and it's very hard to, for example, IPO a personal brand. But you can't IPO a corporate brand, a company, right? And while I love being in the spotlight, first and foremost, I viewed myself as a business person, as an entrepreneur. I've had lots of businesses since I was a kid, and when I was creating content on YouTube, YouTube was my second business. It wasn't really my main business. My main business was building up investing funds to invest and eventually launch a fund. So being in the spotlight, I learned didn't have all the things I wanted, and I was better off being more behind the scenes and building a company, right? For example, having to deal with death threats, having to deal with getting hacked on a live stream. So I mean, all the glitter is not gold, essentially, right? So I felt like I could do a lot more by just being an entrepreneur and having a company and building that up, and not having to deal with all the stuff in the public spotlight, essentially.
How many death threats did you get, Ian?
A lot.
More than you can count. All right, let's clap for the death threats, everybody. We got another question for Ben.
Just wanted to address the supreme leader of the XRP army. Do you have any alpha on that today?
All I can tell you is, I don't have an update, a very specific update on what's going on right now, but I do think, kind of like I talked about on the live stream this morning, when you see the price go under $1 and you see the fact that there was just a whale that dumped 40 million, a little bit above $1, how much does that make sense? Does it make sense to anybody that has XRP to sell 40 million right now with the price down even from a local high, over the last few weeks. And so it's very obvious that there continues to be coordinated pushes down. And I would say these coordinated pushes down are, similar to what we saw with Chainlink in 2020. All of the FUD was created from the community intentionally in order to push the prices down. There's 100% hard evidence that that did happen with Chainlink. And so I do think that whether it's the people at the top of Ripple or whether it is large Ripple whales wanting to accumulate under $1, the fact that it dropped under $1 is astounding at this stage of the bull run, even with the SEC lawsuit going on. Because I'll tell you, the people that want to invest in XRP, they're still investing in XRP. They're finding it through, just because it's not on Coinbase doesn't mean the big investments are not still pouring in. They are. Then today we had the story about the Ripple nodes that went down for 5 hours. It just seems like there's a lot of coordinated stuff. And if you guys notice, we're not hearing anything about the lawsuit right now. There's nothing going. It's like crickets right now with the lawsuit. You guys know where I stand on that. It should have been over in September, and there's evidence to suggest that. If you look at Jed McCaleb, he has dumped XRP every month for I think 8 years now. The last 3 months since September, he has not sold any. He still has some to sell as well. This thing was supposed to be over in September. The price was supposed to go up. It did not happen. There was a power play at the top of the SEC. And so, when will it be over? I'm shocked it's not over now, but it's got to be over soon. There's this idea that it's going to extend late into next year. There's no way that's happening. I still think it's going to be wrapped up by the end of this month. January possibly, but I still believe, as crazy as it sounds, I still believe Bitcoin is topping out by the end of this month. I think we're going to see something similar to what we saw in 2017, $8,000 to $20,000. We don't need that big of an increase to get a Bitcoin up to $100,000. And the XRP decision is supposed to influence the entire crypto market. It's not supposed to come after Bitcoin has peaked. So there's a lot of things hanging in the balance. Just keep the faith. Yesterday, I bought 130,000 additional XRP to get our XRP holdings over 1 million XRP at this point. So to be honest with you, with the price going down, even though, I always fight this battle of it's great for me personally because I've got the money to accumulate when the price goes down. But I care more about my audience. So the fact that it's still stuck around this price, even though it can be financially beneficial, it still kills me. I know everybody's sitting there and waiting for this price to run, and it is going to run, and everybody who has XRP is going to get rewarded. And then what you guys are going to see from XRP over the next 4 to 5 years is going to be unbelievable, or from Ripple Labs.
We got a question from Crypto Blood. Say hi to Crypto Blood, guys.
Come on, Crypto Blood.
Oh man, I don't have a question for you guys. I love all of you. That's
We love you too.
All right, especially you.
Yeah.
Wendy O, especially you.
Oh.
Yeah, check me out on YouTube, Crypto Blood, on Twitter, CryptoBlood_. Thanks.
We have a real question here.
One for Wendy O. The bear market that's coming. A little bit of insight, when, why, what do we do when it hits? How do we survive it?
So we all know that a bear market is coming, and thank you so much for your question, because this is my favorite stuff to talk about. Makes me happy. I advocate for taking profit consistently, and when I talk about taking profit, let me clarify a little bit. If you're holding Bitcoin, stable coins, Ethereum, some of the larger cap stuff, you might be okay with getting away with not necessarily taking profit. However, a lot of the low cap stuff, you need to be taking profit. We saw this happen with DeFi summer of 2020. I don't know how, most of the projects from that launch then, they're gone. They're to zero. They're no longer developing. The ones that are sticking around, they have dumped how much? 80%? 90%?
A lot.
A lot. Negative, I'm just kidding. No, but it's important to consistently take profits, and one of the strategies that has worked for me is when I'm up 2 times or 3 times, I will generally sell half on a double, half on a triple. Can I be missing out on gains? 100%. Yes, but at the same time, I'm taking those gains, I'm putting them into stable coins, and I'm earning passive income on a centralized platform. As far as when the bear market is going to come, we know it is going to come, we just don't know when. And anybody else that's going to sit up here, not necessarily up here, but anywhere else and tell you that it's going to happen on this day at this time, they're full of shit. And the reason why they're full of shit is most people don't realize we're in a bear market until we are actually in a bear market. It's okay to speculate, it's okay to be cautious, but understand we're not going to know. And especially with all of the crazy things that are happening economically right now in a global sense, we're printing money like crazy. We're still technically in a pandemic. So as far as when this bear market's going to come, I can't give you an answer, but I would be consistently preparing for that, and just understand that my risk is going to be different than your risk, and your risk, and your risk. So do what works for you, do what is best for you and your family, and start preparing. And that doesn't mean panic sell everything. You make a moon bag, you still have skin in the game, but just prepare for that.
I disagree with Wendy. I strongly disagree with. Obviously, take profits. I agree with that. Double or triple. You know, listen to what Wendy says. I just had a double Baconator at Wendy's before I came on stage. So, definitely a great. They did laugh at him. They really did. But when she says like nobody knows we're in a bear market until we're in a bear market, that's actually not true. There were a lot of people in 2018, 2017 at the very end that were pointing and saying, no guys, that was it. But people wouldn't listen to them because the hopium is so high, you want to keep believing that you're still in that bear market. And we all are a testament of what happens when you stay in this market through a bear market. But I do believe that through the history of Bitcoin, the Bitcoin cycles, we can pretty much tell when the bear market begins. In May, I was very confident that we were not in a bear market. I was very confident in that. We told our audience all summer long, do not sell your Bitcoin, do not sell your Ethereum, and look what happened. There's a lot of people that came up to me and said, the only reason I did not sell during that time was because you said not to. And our message was getting out, and that was a very powerful thing. However, if we saw a 50% drop today, we are in a bear market. We are at the end of the cycle. If we see a 50% correction, we are in a bear market. In the middle of the year, we could withstand that and bounce back. I think a lot of people really, as people get more into mainstream adoption, right? Everybody's like, there's too much adoption right now. There's no way we're gonna go into a bear market. That's very idiotic thinking. When you look at the history and understand every point in history of Bitcoin, the main people that were in crypto thought that cycle was going to be different. You can find articles from 2018 saying Bitcoin is going to bounce back in 2 months. We are still in a bull market. You can find those the entire year. They would be saying too much adoption. It's on CNBC. Blah 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 blah. We are at a point now where we are still minusculely adopted in crypto, and to think that has changed that drastically since the last cycle, I think is very, very silly to say. That we can only go off of history, and we know generally how long this should be. People forget the fundamental effect of that Bitcoin halving. That is the key that drives the entire crypto market. And until that changes, which will be in 2140, there's a good chance it will still continue to rock the market. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean diminishing returns over time. We certainly have seen that. But I do believe to some extent you can judge when you are in a bear market. We're not there yet, but no, we're getting to the end. And if the prices drop enough, then yes, we could go ahead and feel safe saying it's not going to go back up. One last point I did want to say on Wendy that I did agree with, which what you said about DeFi over 2020, 1 year from now, you will be able to substitute that conversation word for word with NFT projects. So remember that. If you're in big gains in NFT projects, remember to take those profits because 99% of the coins that launched at that time in 2020 are gone. Probably 99% of these new NFT projects will be gone by the end of next year.
Ben is the only one that has the answers to when the bear market is coming. All hail Ben.
Thank you, Wendy. Thank you, Wendy.
He's part
the $100 is on your seat.
With that beard, he's actually part bear. That's how he does it. So, hey, I got laughs. Awesome.
That is not true.
Austin, have something to add?
When the bear market, what's the strategy?
You were nodding your head, yeah.
Well, I thought those were great responses. I can only speak for me personally. I like to, first off, I know for me personally, I think we all can come up with and find signs of a general idea when bear markets happen, meaning the big money starts to sell into the top as retail comes in. You know, the on-chain data, we're all looking at that. For me personally, I know that I'm never going to get the exact top, just like I'm never going to get the exact bottom. And it's crazy because I think for a lot of people, and again for me, it seems it's so easy to press buy, but it's often very hard to click that sell button and take profits when that's the most important part in some sense. So, you know, totally depends on how risk averse you are, what your time preference is, what coins you're holding, are they high caps or are they low caps. If you're just into Bitcoin or just into Ethereum, then you can take a little more risk. You know, they'll be here in 5 years, in my opinion. And if you're in those super low caps, then you should be taking profit liberally. But dollar cost average in, just like you dollar cost average out.
And I just quickly want to say, if you want the freaky truth about XRP and you want to know when to sell, we just released 2 killer interviews with BitBoy on Altcoin Daily. 2 separate interviews asking the full interview dedicated to when are you going to sell, what's your strategy, what do you do, put it in some sort of yield thing, and what's the truth about XRP? Give us in-depth. Search Altcoin Daily, seek out those 2 interviews just dropped over the last 2 days.
We have a question for Ian.
So hey, Ian, you were mentioning earlier that you believe, going into 2022, DAOs are going to be the next movement going forward. So I believe that as well too, especially with everything going geopolitically and everything. So what would you say is your reasoning behind saying that, you believe that DAOs are going to be the next move going into 2022?
Great question. So looking at the investment activity in the blockchain space from venture capitalists, angel investors, and even other investment DAOs, all the deals, the trending deals, are people investing into DAOs for next year. Right? For example, A16Z Crypto has gone heavy into DAO investments. They even had an article on their blog talking about why they view DAOs as the next narrative. Right? So the fact that smart money is going towards that route and is investing now, predicting that next year DAOs will begin to hit the mainstream consciousness, I think that's where they're going, right? Plus, the fact that you can take anything that any human has an interest in and turn that group, that activity, into an online community with a bank account, I think is powerful, right? Because that is limitless. Any human in the world who has any interest in anything can form a DAO, right? So I feel that as the next cornerstone to taking crypto mainstream, because whether you're a gamer, whether you're an investor, whether you're an artist, anything you have can be tokenized as a group, and that becomes something that's really, for me, the biggest thing in crypto, that transforms crypto past NFTs.
Anyone have anything to add on to DAOs? No, you can't. You're asking questions. You can't comment on DAOs. We got another question, though.
I don't even know if this makes sense.
Okay, here we go.
Is it possible to create a DAO for your community, for your YouTube channels?
What's the question?
So can you create a DAO for your YouTube channel, for your community?
You could, right? For example, there's Bankless. They have a YouTube channel and newsletter. They have Bankless DAO, where the community can be part of governance proposals. There are platforms like OpenLaw, which lets you create a DAO. That's a Delaware-based LLC, essentially a legal DAO. Our team is also looking into creating our own investment DAO, right? Because, for example, if you take in crypto pooling, right? Basically, people pulling funds together in syndicates to invest. What if you could form a legal structure that was fully decentralized, where there was no central entity or party controlling anything, and that was also legal, that could invest in anything, right? For example, you have Pleasure DAO investing into NFTs. You have Metacartel Ventures, which invests into early-stage projects. So there are platforms out there that can do this, and I think as more development happens in this space, more people will begin to use these products.
I would say, just speaking about DAOs though real quick, I would be very careful when it comes to DAOs in terms of who loses in a DAO? Who loses? Do you have any ideas?
The voter. Yeah, it's usually the people who are looking for all of the free-based gains and trying to support a token that doesn't necessarily contribute to the community involvement. I know DeFi 2.0 is a big trend right now.
Yeah.
It's just chasing those high APYs, right? But if you take a look at, there's a couple of DAOs, for example, there's one that's hoping to democratize, basically scientific data around, COVID and other research, because you see how there's so.
Who loses there though? Who loses?
Nobody loses. Because
No.
In that scenario,
The controlling structures lose.
Okay.
Right. The controlling structures lose with DAOs. Okay. The people that control the information, they lose. And who controls the information? The people with the money. The funders in that example of the scientific research, okay? A DAO ruins centralization that's not going to go without a fight. Who would have possibly dreamed that stable coins would be labeled as securities? Nobody saw this coming. By the end of next year, stable coins will be labeled as securities. That is the regulation that is coming. That is what Gary Gensler has been setting up for months now. That's why stable coins are now falling under the SEC, which does not make sense. So if you think that centralization is going to come hard after stablecoins, wait to see how hard they come after DAOs. When corporate DAOs start opening up, or when DeFi DAOs start opening up, there's going to be a lot of attacks on this stuff. And you watch for the regulators. So that's why I would be careful with some of that stuff. Even with DeFi, we know Bank of America said we don't care about Bitcoin. We're focused on competing with DeFi. And the best way to become the biggest building in town is to tear down all the other buildings. And that's what we constantly see with centralization. So even with Metaverse, even we go to Metaverse, there's now articles in the last week about money laundering in the Metaverse, right? So all of these things that we're so excited about right now and we're seeing as the next big things or the big investments of next year, I would say that doesn't mean don't not invest in those projects and you could get returns, but with a lot of this new technology and a lot of this new direction of where we're going, centralization is not going to like it. So watch for a lot of regulation to continue to come up next year on all this stuff.
Great.
5-second retort, 5 seconds.
All right, so it's a question. So I just wanted to ask you then. So considering that DAOs are more global, like how would you say that would affect it? Because it sounds like you're speaking from an American perspective.
The SEC can go after anybody. The SEC has the longest arms in the entire world. That's why they're putting pressure on Binance. Basically, if one American in any country has invested in something, Americans can go after them. And you say, well, how can an American, or how can the SEC go after a company that's based in a country that, the SEC has no influence on? Well, guess where we do have influence? Money and economy. So what happens is our government reaches out to their government and says, you want this money? You give us this company that exists within your borders. That's how the SEC goes after people. It's the dirtiest, most disgusting organization in all of the government. And I want you to think about what that means. Think about the slime and the filth that goes on in the government, and then think they're the very, very, very worst one. So to think that if they can go after other countries that have no relationship to the United States, to think they can't in some way go after globally decentralized DAOs is, I think in my personal opinion, a little naive.
Anyone else? What's your name?
Ben.
Thank you, Ben. What's your name?
My name is Dustin.
Dustin, you set this whole thing in motion by just screaming and interrupting while someone else actually raised a hand for a question. So I'm gonna let you have your final retort, but be sure that will not happen again.
No retort. Thank you.
Then apologize.
No apologies.
Oh, man. So we do have a question about taxes. We're talking about SEC, so this might dive into it.
So I'm sure you guys can agree that claiming taxes on cryptocurrency is very important, and not everyone can afford or find a blockchain accountant or set up a foreign trust in Portugal. So what are some of your suggestions as far as information you can give to the room as far as claiming taxes appropriately?
Everybody can afford automated crypto tax software. So if you read TaxBit, it's one that we work at. BitBoyCrypto.com/deals. You guys can go click my
Shout out to
affiliate.
Zen Ledger.
Whoa. Frenemies, here we go. We should do a Crypto Frenemies podcast.
We should, because I'll win every episode.
Shut up, Wendy. Ooh. No, I love Wendy.
I actually do box, by the way, guys, so.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't hit women, so I guess I would just have to.
I don't hit women either.
Oh! Crypto Wendy!
Wow. After all these years, she finally got me. So anyways, look, everybody can afford to work with TaxBit or Zen Ledger. I've worked with Zen Ledger before. That's actually how I got hooked up with my accountant. And here is the coolest thing about both of these companies is that you can actually go on their live chat support and any questions you have, because I can tell none of us are tax experts up here. Nobody wants to be the person that's like, this is what you should do for your taxes. I use a CPA. I use Andrew Gordon from Gordon Law, very high-power CPA and attorney in Chicago. He's a great guy, but I use him because I can't do it myself. I can't figure it out myself. If I can't figure it out myself, then I don't want to be telling everybody how to do it. If you go to the live support option on both of those sites, and you ask questions. Of course, eventually, if you ask a ton of questions, they're gonna lead you to sign up for the service, but a lot of the services are like $70. It's not even a lot. And if you are trying to figure out how to claim taxes for crypto gains, I'm positive you can afford $70. You can probably afford, $1,000, $1,500, whatever the cost may be. But you take advantage of those chat support questions that they have, or chat support agents. You can go on there and ask questions, and they will answer them for you without you having to actually pay for their service.
Also, too, on my channel, I have a legal series, and I have quite a few different crypto CPAs coming on to answer questions. And I may even do, if I get enough emails or requests, I may get Andrew, because he's my guy too, to come on and do a live stream and just answer questions. But I'm telling you guys, I'm not an expert when it comes to taxes, but if you are making money in crypto, you do need to pay your taxes or hire somebody to help you with that, because at least if you do show good faith that you're trying to do the right thing, God forbid you getting pinged or gaffled up, they're gonna look at that. So just remember that. And again, I hate taxes. I think that they're the worst thing ever, and the Fed. I hate the legalized cartels, but at the same time, I'm not gonna do time over something stupid and not see my 5-year-old because I didn't wanna pay taxes.
Tom, what do you make of this guy right here?
What do I think of him?
You're
can't
both
really see
reflective.
it.
You have reflective glasses,
Oh, yeah.
and he has a reflective head.
We're shining, bud.
You're shining, bud. What does everyone makes of this getup? We're in the metaverse. We actually have a human metaverse person here that came for the show. This is awesome.
This is the fun part about conventions. People dressing up, people getting crazy. I love it.
You ever cosplay as anything?
Yeah, hell yeah.
What do you cosplay as?
I just cosplayed at Comic-Con with my girlfriend. Went as Jesse and James from Team Rocket from Pokemon.
Woo! Yes. But what I was getting at is the community is just so diverse and different. We have so many questions from so many different parts of the blockchain. They don't all connect. They come out of left field, and we got this guy up here in a suit and a mirror vision outfit. The crypto community is great. All right, let's get to a real question.
Hey, what's up, y'all? First of all, my name's Cesar. I'm from Seattle, and I literally booked my flight over here like 5 days ago. And a big part of that was for all you guys on stage. I watch all your channels, and Wendy O and BitBoy and everybody. So I watch you every day. So I was like, man, I watch these guys every day or already on YouTube. Why don't I just go to the conference and meet them in person? So thank you. And then the question is, Wendy O, you mentioned that in the last bull market, this is my first bull market, so you said that like 99% of the coins like don't exist anymore. My investments are in the top 100 coins mostly. How likely is it that projects within the top 100 coins will be gone after this?
Very likely. This is what we saw in 2017. I mean, there were so many things that I had invested in. I had no idea what I was doing until I really taught myself how to trade. And a lot of the stuff that was in the top 10 is no longer there. You go to CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko, you can go ahead and adjust the settings, and you'll see what was there and what isn't. So the only thing I'm going to say is just take profits. It doesn't mean you have to sell everything, but just take some skin out of the game, leave a little bit in, flip it, roll it into something else, rinse and repeat.
You picked the right projects, though. You picked the winners. You're okay. Just kidding.
All right, we have time for one more question, but it has to be fun. It has to be a fun question. It has a fun, short question.
Everybody over there.
Hey, let's give it up for Adam, by the way. Adam, great host. Keeping the energy of the room. Yeah, Adam
Good
Charles.
energy.
I said, does anyone have a question? There was 8 hands. Does anyone have a fun question? They all went down. You again? All right.
All right, I got a fun question. Would anyone on stage participate in a crypto YouTube celebrity boxing match?
Are we going to see Wendy versus Ben?
I'd love to do color commentary on that.
I actually I'd actually proposed a boxing match at one point to somebody, and they turned it down. But what I'd say is that's bear market activities. So when we're When we're fighting over scraps, we'll be really fighting over scraps.
I don't toss paws anymore. I use boxing as a form of therapy because I had to fight to survive. But I will gladly be the announcer.
All right, let's end this on a good high note. We're going to start with Tom. Tom.
What's up?
Turn to the person to your left and say something nice about them.
You're even nicer than I thought you'd be in person.
Thanks, Tom. Nicer than you thought I'd be in person.
Continue.
Fantastic brother, fantastic business partner and teammate. You're the best. Altcoin Daily for life.
Thanks, man. I love you.
Oh.
Ian, you're an OG in the space. You're one of the crypto content creators that started it all. You know, I think we kind of were talking back there, but you know, in a lot of ways, we stand on the shoulders of giants because you kind of set the trend and started educating people first. So I always look to those original people in this space to learn from as we make content.
Thank you. Wendy, I mean, you're amazing. You're an OG in crypto as well. Always great to have women going out there and evangelizing crypto and taking it mainstream. So congrats with all your success.
Thank you so much, and I appreciate it.
Someone get a picture of this.
Even though BitBoy and I, we have our tiffs, we have our little spats. One thing I will say is he's always been a very good friend to me. He's always been supportive. He's a good family friend of mine. If I ever need anything, no matter what it is, I can call him at any time and he will be there. Amazing family man, amazing dad, and I'm very thankful to have you as a friend. Thank you.
Wow, Wendy, you got me all emotional over here. That was very sweet.
Don't come for me though.
I will not come for you. I will not come for you.
Ben.
Self.
Ben, hold up,
no.
Ben.
No.
So you notice there ain't no one to your left. You would have to be talking about.
Where's the mirror vision guy? I want him to stand here so I can.
So here's the thing, guys. This panel was supposed to end a while ago, but they come up to me and said, everyone's in here is having a great time. This is probably the best time anyone's had in this hot boss of a metaverse the whole entire conference. And they said, go until you want, basically. So we went about double our time. And, you know, the people funded that with their energy. So say something nice about the people, Ben.
Yeah,
what
absolutely.
about Tom?
I remember my first crypto conference. I went. It was in July of 2018, and it was a mess. What you'll find about blockchain conferences is a lot of times they're an absolute mess. Yeah, Chicago was an absolute mess for sure. But you know, while the organizer, I'm not saying this is a bad conference. I'm saying the organizers, the stages, they may move and stuff like that. But the great part about that first conference was getting to meet some of the people that I had followed online and some of the people that I looked up to. Because I know, look, I know a lot of you guys, you come here to meet us and you want to take pictures with us and it's really cool to interact with us. I was right where you were, like just 3 to 4 years ago, where there was Crypto Influencer Awards and I wasn't invited because I was just getting started. But I was getting started in a crypto journey that has changed my life forever in so many different ways, and you guys are all part of that. Like, you guys all right now have the opportunity to do something great. You guys are first movers, and you know, just want to encourage you to follow your dreams. You don't have to do the status quo. You don't have to go work the 9 to 5 and live in the rat race forever. And you're here because you recognize this, and you're surrounded by people, you know, that can go on this journey with you. And we are just so thankful and grateful for every person, because if it wasn't for the people that watched our channels, nobody would know who we are. It's you guys that are the real stars. It's you guys that really drive the content and drive what we talk about, because we all listen to you, because you guys all have valid opinions, and we respect our audience. So we love you guys. We appreciate you all, and thanks for coming.